Hey, Jimmy with Cuff and Stuff. Well, we're out at the cook shack on this cool, brisk morning, and I have to tell you, I'm still getting emails and even texts of viewers that are watching these videos and saying, I can't afford $400 for a smoker, or $500, or $800, or $1,000, or $2,000, or whatnot. I get it. Money's tight, and that's just the way it is, okay? So I'm gonna show you, if you have any yard at all, if you have a backyard, you can put this together. We're gonna build a cinder block smoker. I'm gonna show you how to lay it out. Now you can adapt this any size you want. Generally speaking, I put them together and the size is determined by what I'm gonna cook, okay? If I'm gonna cook a few chickens, it's not gonna be as big as it is if I'm gonna cook a whole hog, okay? That's gonna be bigger. So you can adjust these sizes accordingly. This is just a basic layout of how you put one together, and I'll do a video later showing you how to cook on it. All right, so today we're gonna put out, I'm gonna show you how to lay this block smoker out, and also I'm gonna show you how to put together a burn barrel, because that's one of the secrets to pit cooking like this, is you're not throwing wood under your food, you're throwing hot coals. And so you gotta put together a burn barrel. It makes it easier. You can burn wood and scoop it off the ground if you want to. But this is just the way I do it. It's simple. So let's get at it. So hang tight. Okay, here's the layout. This is the base of this thing, okay? Now, if you notice, I've got 3 across the back. The middle is turned sideways. On bigger ones, if I was going out further, I probably would turn one sideways on each side. That's to let air in. That helps control your airflow. With this one, I've got 3 up each side, and then I've got 2 turned out. This is the base. Now, you want to try to get this thing fairly level, and I didn't put a square on this. If you want to do diagonals and get it perfect, that's fine. You just want your block pushed up together tight enough. So that's the first course, or the base, to this smoker. Let's move on. We'll put another course down. Okay, here's the second course. Now, notice I'm laying this like you would lay a block wall, okay? I'm interlocking these. I'm not stacking one block on top of another. If you see the corners, it's come out, there's 2 in the middle on the ends out here. That just ties it in and locks it in. Now, on the door, or the opening, I've got 2 half blocks sitting on top of that. The next course will go across. I'm gonna take some angle iron and go across the front on the outside and the inside, and that'll help this next course stand up on top. Now, for cooking purposes, for what we're gonna be cooking actually tomorrow, I'm only gonna go 2 high before rolling my wire out and putting it on it. So let me get this wire rolled out over the top of this, and I'll bring you back and show you what I did. Okay, you see I have cut my wire. I've got it laid out. I will flatten it out as I go from this side to the front. The next course of cement block will hold it in place. Now, I have added some rebar to like the sides and the corners. If I'm throwing a big heavy pig on there, This is where I would add them down inside the block to just make sure that my wire doesn't fall in the fire. But also, if you've noticed, I put angle iron across the front. And the next course that I put across there, across the front, this angle iron is gonna help hold the course, and it's gonna actually close the top of my opening or my door on the front end over there. So let me lay this next course of block out, and I'll show you how it flattens the wire out and holds it, and how the next course closes the top of the door. So stick with me. Okay, well, here it is. That is the top course. Now again, if I were gonna cook a whole hog, I would probably come up another course with the wire, and I would have it 4 high and probably at least one more block wider, and maybe one more block longer. But you can see I could get a pretty good sized pig on what I got here. This certainly will do to cook the small stuff. If you want to cook brisket, you want to cook pulled pork, you want to do ribs, you want to do chicken, you can do whatever on this one. Now, one thing I would do if I was going to cook a whole pig, you can see on this side the opening. I probably would put an opening on both ends so I could shovel the hot coals under both ends. You don't really do it under the middle of a pig, you do it under the shoulders and the hams. So this is really all there is to it. I'm gonna take the big torch, the big weed burner, and I'm gonna burn the wire off, and I may give you a glimpse of that before we go to the burn barrel. Okay, so on to the burn barrel. All right, first thing we did is we took and actually we used the plasma cutter, cut the top out. And also, if you look down here, I cut a big section. It's not quite a third, but almost. I like a big wide opening. That is where I'm gonna use the shovel, and I'm gonna scoop my hot embers out of the bottom of it. The next thing I gotta do is I'm gonna come up right above this ring right here, and I'm gonna put several pieces of rebar in one direction, and then I'm gonna come 90 degrees to that, and I'm gonna put them just above that. So when my wood falls down, it's just the ember as it burns that falls through and down in the bottom. I don't want a pile of wood that I've got to push up and scoop under. That way I can get a lot of wood in this barrel and really keep my coals going, because trust me, if you're cooking a pig with a burn barrel like this, you're gonna be doing a lot of scooping, and you're talking about most of the time, depending on the size of the pig, but the average pig for a pig picking or whole hog cook generally takes about 12 hours. So that's a lot of wood you're gonna throw in this thing, and a lot of shoveling you're gonna do up under that pig. Okay, drilled the holes. Took actually 12 holes, 3 on each side, and then 90 degrees, 3 on each side. I've got the rebar slid in, and let me pull up close and show you what the inside looks like. Okay, that's what the inside looks like. Now, If you want little bitty tiny pieces, take the charcoal grate out of a grill, set down on top of this, and it'll even make the pieces smaller, but this does pretty well. The pieces that are going to fall through this, you can move around and bust up with a shovel as you're scooping it out, and that is a burn barrel. That's all there is to it. Now, you didn't get to see, I took the torch and went in with the big grass burner torch and really burned this barrel out good. And I probably will not use the barrel for the first hour that I have a fire in it, just to be on the safe side. I took that same torch, and you saw me burn the wire off. That serves two purposes. That wire has never been used and never been cooked on. It kills the germs on the wire, and also, should it just happen to be galvanized, it'll burn all that zinc off, so be sure you burn your wire off before you use it. I've used galvanized chicken wire, and as long as you burn it off, I've never had any problems with it, never had anybody get sick or anything like that. I know there are warnings out there, but I've just, in 40 years, never had any problem with it. So that's the cooker build. That is the burn barrel build. I hope this helps. Maybe this will help you guys that, oh, you can't afford a cooker, you can't afford a smoker. Well, there it is. If you have to buy one block at a time, store it in your backyard and then put it together when you get them all in there. This is not an expensive proposition. You don't even have to do the burn barrel. One piece of advice I can tell you, if you find mobile home movers, a lot of times, like at repossessions and that kind of stuff, the cement block that they have under mobile homes is a pain in their side. And if you can get hooked up with one of them, they probably will give you all the cement block you want. So there you go, that's free too. Okay, well, thanks for hanging around. I appreciate it. If you would, and you haven't already, hit the circle on this side. I'll have another video for you over here. Until next time, hang tight.